Welcome to Barcelona News World. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Welcome. Barcelona vs Inter H2H UEFA Champions League record. The Barcelona vs Inter H2H record in the Champions League makes for interesting reading ahead of Wednesday's semi-final first leg clash. Both clubs have sparkled on the continent this season and will be aiming to impress once again at the Olympic Stadium in Montjuic. Despite advancing to the Final Four, the Nerazzurri heads into the tie having suffered 3 consecutive defeats in all competitions. The latest loss against Roma on Sunday means Simone Inzaghi's side are 3 points behind Napoli in the race for the Serie A title. Prior to that, head coach Inzaghi raged at the fourth official during the 3-0 defeat to arch-rivals Milan in the Coppa Italia semi-final second leg. The former Azzurri star will need to be a lot more calm and collected in Spain. His charges have been brilliant all season, but the sudden dip in form is alarming. Fatigue is perhaps to blame after an arduous campaign. Meanwhile, Barca head into the tie off the back of 3 consecutive wins in all competitions. The most recent victory came on Saturday as the Blaugrana beat nemesis Real Madrid 3-2 the Copa del Rey final. Barcelona vs Inter H2H UCL record. The Barcelona vs Inter H2H record in the UEFA Champions League sees the former come out on top. Of the 12 meetings, Barca has 6 wins to their name. 4 draws have been played out between the sides, with the Nerazzurri claiming just 2 victories. However, the Italians boast the most famous result when they won 3-1 in the semi-final first leg back in 2010. That was the year head coach Jose Mourinho led the Biniamada to a historic treble. The Maverick Portuguese coach oversaw a tactical masterclass in the return leg at the new camp, where Blaugrana claimed a 1-0 win but lost out 3-2 on aggregate. The most recent meeting occurred in a group stage clash which saw the game finish 3-3. Ousmane Dembele and Robert Lewandowski, too, netted for Barca, with Nicolo Barella, Lautaro Martinez and Robin Gosens scoring for Inter. FC Barcelona, led by Hansi Flick, are set to take on Simone Inzaghi's Inter Milan in the first leg of the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League at the Estadi de Montjuic. This is the first time in 6 years that the club has reached this stage of the competition, and it means a lot. For far too long at Barcelona, mediocrity has become the standard. Well, that was the case until Hansi Flick came in. The German coach has grabbed the bull by its horns and set the template on how his team should play football, and it has been breathtaking to watch. In the fag end of the season, everyone knows what Hansi Flick's preferred starting 11 is for the big games. Referred to as the Gala 11, the German coach is likely to go along expected lines against Inter Milan, but he doesn't have Robert Lewandowski and Alejandro Balde, due to injuries. In the striker position, it is a no-brainer to start Ferran Torres, who has been very good throughout this campaign and is coming off a man-of-the-match performance against Real Madrid in the Copa del Rey final back in the weekend. That leaves Flick with only one major decision: who should start at left-back. It's a crucial choice in a tie of this magnitude, and here at Semper Barca, we take a closer look at the available options. The obvious: Gerard Martin. Gerard Martin started as a left-back against Real Madrid and had a decent display, but he doesn't offer the same threat as Balde going forward. The 23-year-old Spaniard is also susceptible on the ball and often makes the wrong decision. That said, this has been the case all season, and yet Hansi Flick has always placed the trust in the youngster to fill in whenever Balde needed a rest. Thus, it will come as no surprise to see him start against Inter Milan. The left field: Íñigo Martínez. Hansi Flick tried something out in the second half of El Clasico, which could have been an idea he was thinking of ahead of the Inter Milan game. The German coach removed Martin, brought on Araujo, and moved Íñigo Martínez to the left-back role. Fair to say, the ex-Bilbao star held his own despite playing in an unfamiliar position. Íñigo has always been very comfortable on the ball, and even whilst playing as a centre-back, he loves to venture forward and make driving runs with the ball at his feet. While this does mean breaking up arguably the best centre-back partnership in the world this season, Ronald Araujo is equally good to fill in the void and partner Cubarsí, while also allowing Íñigo to move to the left and influence the game from there. It is extremely unlikely that Flick is planning on starting Fort in a game of this magnitude after hardly having given him a chance throughout the season, but if he wanted to be brave, the 18-year-old Spanish fullback would be an excellent option to fill Balde's void. Stylistically, Fort, despite being a naturally right-footed player, is the closest to Balde in terms of an attacking threat. He loves getting forward and has the capability to deliver devastating crosses, with both feet. Whenever given a chance, Fort is almost never disappointed and is no stranger to being thrown into the big occasion, just as Xavi did with him last season against Atletico Madrid. However, for some reason, Flick only seems to use him when he absolutely has to rotate. Semper Barca expert opinion. Even though Hansi Flick has 3 decent options to choose from for the left-back position, we think the German coach has to be brave and give Hector Fort a chance against Inter Milan. The €10 million rated La Masia graduate got a chance to start last weekend against Mallorca and formed an excellent partnership on the left flank with Ansu Fati with his link-up play, and could replicate the same against Inter Milan. Rafinha always operates better with an attack-minded left-back alongside him, and Fort would be able to mimic the runs that Bald usually makes while also providing considerable quality on the ball. FC Barcelona still have the most crucial stretch of the 2024-25 season yet to play, but as the season approaches its end, they are also paying a significant degree of attention to the requirements of their team for the next season. For the upcoming summer transfer window, one of the areas that the Catalans are looking to reinforce is that of the flanks, as they want to bring some cover and competition for their 2 starting fullbacks, Jules Kounde and Alejandro Bald. Barcelona preparing their first formal offer for Alejandro Grimaldo. In this regard, one of the players they have been closely linked with for quite some time now is the Bayer Leverkusen defender Alejandro Grimaldo, who is gaining a lot of traction at Barcelona because of his maturity, reliability, and consistency in attacking prowess. Trained at La Masia, the Spanish defender has established himself as one of the best players in his position with his performances in the Bundesliga, and according to Fischages, the Blaugranes are preparing their first formal offer for the defender, which will go up to €25 million. This amount would also be acceptable for Leverkusen, as Grimaldo is already 29 years of age. See you on next video. Goodbye.